Yo, what up guys? Welcome to Gameover Ent, and this week on The Walking Dead Wednesday, we're talking about The Walking Dead Season 3 and its possible similarities with The Last of Us. Alright guys, let's go ahead and get into this real quick. So first on deck, this is just a speculation video. I don't really know a lot of information about The Walking Dead Season 3, but what we do know is that there are going to be two playable characters, an adult male, a new character, Javier, that we've never seen before, and the young Clementine, who is now a teenager now, who's been with us the past few seasons in The Walking Dead. Very similar to another apocalyptic duo, the adult male Joel from The Last of Us and the teenager girl Ellie, also from The Last of Us. So that's what I think about when I think of a two playable character duo that we've seen before in the apocalypse. Now, so far, Telltale hasn't really divulged how these two playable characters are going to work out. Like, how will you transition over from playing as Javier, for instance, as playing as Clementine? How would that work out? What would make these characters different between each other? Maybe Javier would be more brute force. If you get into a fist fight or a physical altercation with somebody, he'd be better situated for that since he is bigger, stronger than Clementine. Maybe Clementine has better aim. Maybe she get the headshots better than Javier, or what have you. Okay, we don't know about that yet, but so far, the only example of how Telltale handles multiple playable characters in their games are from Game of Thrones and Tales from the Borderlands. And I'm gonna tell you why I don't think either of those styles that they use there will work out for The Walking Dead. First off, Game of Thrones, there was never a scene where you have two of the same playable characters in the same room. They always were playable at a different location. Somebody in the North Grove, somebody, at King's Landing, somebody at Winterfell, Iron Raft, my bad. And when the two playable characters did come up to each other, it was a conflict where the player had to decide who lives and who dies and who to play on as. Okay, now I don't think that situation will work out for The Walking Dead because they've already established that these two characters are going to be working together to accomplish the same goal, and we've already seen them in the same teaser trailer, and there doesn't seem to be any kind of major conflict going on right there. So I don't think the Game of Thrones style will work out for Clementine and Javier. And then also we got Tales from the Borderlands style, where you have Reese and Fiona, where they have very different styles of play. Reese has his specialty of being a high-tech guy, able to hack into things with his cybernetics, and him being influenced by Jack and stuff like that. Okay, making him very different from Fiona, who was kind of like a hustler, able to haggle, able to bargain, able to earn money and stuff, accessorize and do all kinds of things with that money. So it created some diversity between those two characters. And if you can think back, every time they used to transition over from Fiona to Reese, it was usually a comedic style. Like Reese would tell his version of the story, then Fiona would tell her version, and then it worked together pretty funny, but it would always come together in like a comedy fashion, which doesn't really work out for The Walking Dead's serious and emotional environment that they've already established, which is why I don't think that will really work out. And now we got The Last of Us, which already has some similarities. We already know that Season 2 endings are carry over. We don't know if Telltale is going to visually represent the Season 2 endings or will it be just brought up in dialogue. But if it is visually represented through gameplay and stuff like that, that's going to be very similar to The Last of Us, where you had Joel before right when the apocalypse set off, he had that thing going on with his daughter, and then all of a sudden 20-year time skip. Now we already know Clementine got to finish up that business with AJ by herself in a lone ending, or Kenny, or with Jane or stuff like that, and we could possibly have that 2-year time skip that we saw her in the teaser where she's 2 years older. So that's similar to The Last of Us. Also, we got this situation where Javier seems to be the main focus of the storyline here, just due to the fact that the scar on his neck, the scar on the walker, and also the symbol in the logo are all the same. If they put the symbol in the logo, it's a very important symbol, and Javier being a playable character means he's going to be around for a very long time throughout The Walking Dead Season 3, okay? He's not dying anytime soon. So that makes me just think that the story's going to be focused more around him as far as him being playable. Same thing with Joel in The Last of Us. He was the main playable guy, and we switched over to Ellie in certain situations, what I'm going to talk about in a minute. But everything that Joe did was kind of for Ellie's benefit, get her to the safe place, protect the girl, rescue the girl, make sure she doesn't die and stuff like that. So spoiler alert right now for Last of Us. I kind of have to spoil some things here to talk about it like this. Now, you know, the situations where we would actually transition from Joel to Ellie in The Last of Us only took place when one of the two characters were incapacitated or out of commission. Like when Joel was on his last leg, I thought the man was dead, to be honest with you. Alright, he was down and out. Ellie had to take over, and we played with her, for instance, and we got to her storyline. But her storyline didn't last very long. It was good, it was very emotional and pretty intense, but it didn't last very long. It could be the same thing with The Walking Dead, because you see Javier and Clementine already occupying the same space. What if like Javier gets kidnapped and now Clementine has to be the one to rescue him, or he gets trapped in a situation that he can't get out of and Clementine has to take over? That may be how the transition is going to work off. Or maybe we have one full episode with Javier, one full episode with Clementine, or something like that. There's something where the two playable characters kind of play off each other and help each other out in a situation where one character cannot do it by themselves. Okay, very similar to The Last of Us. And I know I'm about to hear in the comments already, because I heard in my comments before how Clementine could possibly be immune, how she can be the golden child, the cure to the Walker virus. But I'm gonna go ahead and shut that down, because one thing about the Walking Dead games that I think Robert Kirkman will not allow to happen is any kind of change to his apocalyptic environment. He's already discussed that there really isn't a cure, but as far as finding any kind of major discovery about the Walking Dead world that's not revealed already in the comic books or the television show, I don't think it's going to happen through the gaming format. If there's anything to be discovered about that kind of thing, a cure, somebody being immune, something out there that can really like stop the walkers or something, any kind of big thing like that. I'm not saying that Telltale can't make up new techniques to how to defeat walkers and stuff like that, but nothing really game changing stuff that would change the whole atmosphere of the world. Okay, nothing like that. So I don't think Telltale can do anything like that. I think this could be strictly in the comic books if Robert Kirkman wills it to be so. So before anybody says that Clementine could possibly be immune in her story, I don't think that's going to happen. So this is a topic, man, wide open for discussion. Do you guys think that Telltale's going to take a similar approach to The Last of Us, or how they did their playable characters? I don't know. Hopefully we find more out at July. The Comic-Con convention is going to be lit, and I will be covering that hoe to death. Okay, you can bet on that. But yeah, I want to hear you guys in the comments what you guys think. Do you think Telltale could be taking a Last of Us style, or do you think they'll be trying their own new thing? And what do you think about Tales from the Borderlands? Do you think that style will really work for The Walking Dead? It worked out beautifully for the Tales from Borderlands, but you know, comedy just doesn't play off the same way as it will in this. Okay, and how would they transition over, and how could they possibly make Clementine different than Javier? Okay, I gave you a couple examples of what I think they could do, but now it's time to hear yours. Comment down below. Alright guys, so go ahead and hit me with a thumbs up if you did enjoy this little bitty video, and yeah, I'll catch you guys later. Game over, out.